Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Crying While Driving. I'm your host, Lindsay Conway. We have one co-host right now, Gigi, and our guest, Chelsea Habif. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. We're sipping a little lemony Lillet Spritz. Okay, she's going to sit with me, apparently. You going to sit down here? Okay. Hi, thanks again for coming.
Of course.
So you're our first lesbian on the show. You're also our first married guest.
I feel very honored and scared.
No need to be scared. We will go easy on you. This is going to be fun. We're going to have fun today. So your wife's name is Jess.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us about how you met?
Jess and I met working together, but on different teams at a manufacturing chemistry plant.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
And so we actually met in Providence.
Yes.
The last guest we had on was a regular at the restaurant that I worked at, and I was a regular at the bar that you worked at.
Yes.
One of the best, elite cocktail bars in Providence, in my opinion. So you met Jess after moving out of Providence?
I was still in Providence.
Oh,
at the
you
time.
were?
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah.
What's it like being married?
It's different and the same as dating at the same time. You just signed a legal document and paid the government to say that you love this person.
Crazy.
It's so different than what I would expect it to.
What did you expect?
I don't know what I expect. I actually truthfully never thought I was going to get married. So this is a whole new ball game that I never thought I'd ever be
Yeah.
in.
Did you never see yourself getting married because you identified as straight for a long time, or did it have anything to do with who you were dating? Where do you think that came from?
I think it was definitely a lot of all of that.
Yeah.
And then for the longest time, I was also kind of poly.
Okay.
And so I just never saw settling down with just one person
Yeah.
being a thing. But I kind of just fell for my wife really hard. And I know, typical lesbian,
So sweet.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So do you want to tell us about your relationship to queerness and what coming out looked like for you?
My coming out was a lot of different stages.
Same girl. Tell me all of them.
Oh my
please.
gosh. I think the first time I ever recognized that I was different was maybe 16 when I told my friend who was a pastor's daughter that I was like, I think I'm bi-curious. And she's like, same girl. Oh we all are.
Wow. Pastor's daughter. Not holding back.
Not holding back. At that point, she was married and had a kid. But
At 16?
well, she was older than me.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was 16.
Got it.
And then from there on, I was just kind of exploring life, not really thinking about it again. And then when I was 19, I think something came up with a younger sibling, and my mom was telling me about it, and they were kind of forcing them to go through counseling with the pastor because they had feelings. They're queer also, and so they're we have to put them through counseling and go through the church. And I'm no, you don't. I'm queer. I'm bi. I like girls. It's okay. And my mom kind of disowned me and was I don't want you talking to the sibling. You're a bad influence. And so at that point I was oh, okay, so I can't talk to my family about this.
I'm so sorry that happened.
Oh my gosh, it's totally okay.
So your family is very religious.
At that point in my life, it's a weird, I'm from Tennessee, so it's a weird, I grew up in going to two different churches, very, very religious family, but now, my dad doesn't even go to church anymore, really.
So when did you move up to the East Coast?
I moved up in 2017.
Okay. And you moved right to Providence?
I did.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And are you in touch with your family now?
I am.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that happened, and then I think I came out to the world when I was 22. And I was like, I'm gay. Like,
What did that look like for you?
a Facebook post.
Yep, right. Social media.
Yep.
It's like a great just like way to handle it.
That way you don't have to
when you're
talk to
older.
everyone.
Yeah, like not necessary.
Yeah. So at that point, like, I just didn't care anymore. I was like, let's just let everybody know. If they have something to say, they'll say it.
Totally.
And something I hold on to is my mom's mom texted me and was like, I love you, and we can agree to disagree about your disagreeable decisions in life.
How did you receive that?
We don't talk.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a little convoluted and disheartening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think from there, I was just like, all right, I don't care.
Yeah.
But after that, I was just like, I'm free. Like, I can finally just be me. And it's like, if you love me, you love me. If you don't, you don't. I don't care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can finally, like, at that point, I was living in Knoxville. So I was like an hour away from my family anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, everyone in my social life knew that I was queer and knew I was, like, bi and dating girls and guys. And, like,
You had a community
I
there.
had a community, and, like, nobody cared but my family or anyone else, like, back home, you know, in the boondocks, like, had no idea. So I was like, I'm tired of living this double life, so it's time to, like, tell everyone. And if I don't care what they think,
Fuck 'em.
fuck them. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah.
Is how I felt at 22.
So why Providence?
I got to the point where I was like, if I don't leave, I'm never going to get out of this small town.
South.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I don't leave the South now, I'm not going to get out. And it was between Providence and Seattle, and whatever school I could get into the quickest. And I applied to Johnson & Wales in December and got accepted and started in February.
Oh my God.
So it was a very much like irrational, probably, decision of like, I got to go. And if I don't go now, I'm never going to leave. So I did. I applied and got in and packed up in 3 months.
I had no idea you went to Johnson & Wales. What years were you there?
So I was there from 2017 to 22.
Okay.
And I transferred to URI.
So we didn't have any overlap.
No.
No.
Yeah, I originally started out in the dietetics program.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was in that program.
Yeah.
That's a whole other story.
Oh, we could go on.
Oh yeah. Another day.
Yes, but I ended up, after 2 semesters, switching to biology because of a professor was like, you're not going to stay in that degree. You're going to switch. And
Oh
I
my
did.
goodness.
Dr. Bud, did you ever have him? We
I
can
don't
compare.
remember. Yeah. we can
That's a
definitely-
whole-
Yeah, that's a whole other thing.
But I realized like Johnson & Wales just wasn't, with just doing science and not like the dietetics. I was like, this is not going to help me in a career. So I transferred to URI, but it added 2 years, even though
Shit.
of schooling. And then COVID hit. And
Yeah.
so I did 5 years for a bachelor's.
Oh my gosh. You finished though.
I did.
Hey, cheers to that.
Thank you.
How did you find your way to Cortland Club? How did you end up there?
Oh my God, that's a long story.
If it's not relevant, we can move on.
Some good people that were looking out for me. I was at, and I'm sure you've heard of this place, Milk Money.
Oh, get out of town. That wasn't around for very long.
No, thank God. I was there. That was my first bar in
Okay.
Providence because I was working in East Greenwich, and then I worked at the Creme Plaza. I was a banquet manager, and then I got the job there, not knowing like the Providence bar scene, and I was like, no other bartender, like no restaurant people come here, and there's a reason, and learned really quick why.
Yeah.
But thankfully, the chef's girlfriend, who's now, I guess they're married, was going to work there, and they helped get me out of there. And
Was
we're
that
like,
Sam?
Sam?
And Will?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh
Sam
my
and Will
gosh.
helped me like get out of Milk Money
Good
and
people.
helped me find Leishla,
Hell yes.
who is incredible, and I'm so excited for her bar.
Oh my God, she's opening a bar. Last I heard,
Yes.
she took a break and she is sober.
No, she's opening a bar.
Oh shit.
Loma. It's going to be low alcohol, like lower ABV.
We have to go.
Yes. The second it opens.
Yeah.
I'll send you the
Please.
Instagram.
That's so exciting.
I know. I'm so proud of her.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. Yeah, she's like the backbone of the Providence bar scene.
She is.
Yeah.
Yes. I know she's done a lot of consulting as like her thing right now instead of like
Okay.
working
Yeah.
behind a bar. But yeah, that's been what she's been planning this whole time. And
Incredible.
I'm like, yes.
I'm so excited.
I know.
That seems like a very safe space, like a very like safe queer space.
It was.
Did you like when did you sort of find your tribe in Providence? Was it did if you ever did?
I don't feel like I ever did.
Mm.
I had a really hard time in Providence.
I also had a really hard time dating, like
Oh my God,
trying to date
dating
women
was
in Providence.
Horrible.
So you were in that pool and had a similar experience.
I had a
Sounds like, yeah, it's like impossible to meet women in Providence.
But now there's like a huge scene.
We missed it.
We totally missed
Missed
it.
the boat on that one.
Well, I'm fine with that.
So yeah, at what point did you sort of realize, okay, maybe I'm not, because you don't identify as bi-curious today. No, you're like, hello, a lesbian, you have a wife. So when did, like, at what point did that transition
I think for
or
me,
realization?
it was when I came to the fact that like my family's gonna listen to this. I like sex with men, but I don't like dating men.
Fair enough.
I am a very sex positive person, and sex can be fun, but like anything past that emotional, like needing an emotional attachment with them, no, I can't do it. There's just like that wall. And so I think for me, especially during like my time when I was more poly, it was hard because I just couldn't get past that. And like there were some really amazing men in my life that like loved me, and I just couldn't be that person for them.
Yeah.
For more than what they wanted. So once I got there, I was like, I like can be in certain spaces, but I'm just not someone you can date.
Like all of your parts weren't on board necessarily. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. How did you get into, or like what sparked your interest with exploring polyamory?
I've always been like kind of interested in it. I think like even when I was like 18, I just always was more drawn to like non-monogamy and like that communities. And I just feel like that felt more like home to me, and like I understood it. I think to me, the communication that you gain from those relationships makes you grow in monogamous relationships, because you understand like the things that you have to talk about are a lot deeper and need a lot more understanding and boundaries, and like it just opens a whole different field. And I feel like my relationship with my wife is so much stronger because I've learned to be able to communicate like the hard things.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. Has she ever explored that?
No, it's not for everyone.
Yeah, for sure. I personally don't know that I could like have the energy or the bandwidth to manage relationships with multiple people.
It can be tough. But that is also the great thing about like being poly, is because when you are like overextended, if your partner is also poly, you can be like, I need a break. Like you have other people that can give you what you need right now.
True.
And so I need to take some time for me. So like you have people that can give you this right now in this moment, while I need to like protect myself.
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
So you don't have to overextend yourself, because they can always have someone else to like fill that void.
Yeah, there's always someone to step in.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And not feel, you don't have that like jealousy, because you're like, go.
Yeah. How do you deal with the jealousy piece?
I've never really felt jealous. Like jealousy is not something I deal with.
Okay.
There's a lovely book, and now I'm gonna forget the name.
Tucker.
I'm like, now I have to look it up.
Maybe we take a minute.
Yeah.
Do we want to let Tucker in? he's requesting. The Ethical Slut.
Yes. So The Ethical Slut is a really great book written by two queers that have been in the scene since like the 70s. And they have a great chapter on jealousy.
I have to read that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've read it 3 times.
Oh my gosh.
And I've suggested it to so many people. I've loaned it out. I've had to buy 2 copies because people have stolen my book.
Oh my
I have the audiobook. I have the Kindle.
I'll listen to it.
Yeah. The audiobook's really good because it's the author.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really good.
It's on the list. What are your wife's pronouns?
She, her.
She, her.
Mm-hmm.
What was your wedding like?
So we actually had 2 weddings.
Oh my God, Tucker. Really? You had 2 weddings?
Yeah, we eloped.
Oh, a dream. Oh my gosh.
That was my dream. And that was my perfect wedding. Yeah. And then a year later, we had a beautiful mountain wedding in Vermont.
Oh my gosh.
A traditional Jewish wedding.
What is that like?
A lot. No offense.
So her family is very religious.
I wouldn't say very religious. They are just very respectful of their heritage and value that very much. Mm-hmm. I would say her dad grew up more Orthodox, and I'm going to butcher. One's Ashkenazi, one's now I can't even remember. They're gonna kill me. Sephardic. There we go. I was like,
oh my gosh.
Yes. So those are just very high things. So we had like a huppah, we had a rabbi. The ceremony was 45 minutes. Like,
did you step on glass?
Yes, and we both did.
Oh
because
my
I was
gosh.
like, that's not fair. She gets to do it. We're lesbians. Like,
right, of course. Who proposed?
I did.
Oh, how'd you do it?
Oh my gosh. I will say I did this really good. We went to the beach with my family, and I booked this family photo shoot.
Smart.
And but really it was our engagement photos, and had my dad have the ring, and we did like couple photos, and the photographers were in on it and everything. They were super sweet, even though it was Florida.
Oh my God. Why Florida?
My family loves Destin, but it was before everything
Destin?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was before everything got really crazy. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, nah, that was the last time we'll ever go to Florida.
Scary.
And so we like planned it out to where we'll do this one photo, and like I have the ring box on her shoulder, and I'm behind, and I'm pointing at her finger. And so then she'd turn around, and I got down on my knee.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow. And so what was the elopement like?
We just went to a Justice of the Peace's like backyard in
Beautiful.
Natick with her parents and her best person and a non-existent friend of mine.
Oh damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would do different about your wedding if you could?
No children.
Oh, there were kids there.
Yeah.
Do you want kids?
Not particularly.
Does Jess?
Not really.
Cheers to that. You have 2 dogs.
We have dogs. I want
Yeah.
more dogs.
Do you have 2 or you have more than 2? Yeah.
2.
You
I
want more. How many do you want?
I want a pack of wiener dogs.
Incredible. What are your dogs' names?
Cassie and Luna.
So sweet.
I know. Yeah, no, the wedding was nice. It's just, I don't know. Weddings are just like
How long did it take to plan?
a year.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's like such an investment of energy and resources.
And money, and it's just like, it was beautiful and it was wonderful, and I would not take anything back. It was a lot. And it was great family time, and I loved it. It was a lot.
Are you close with her family?
Yeah, I would say so. More so, like, it was more like to get her family together. Like, none of my family came. Like, my siblings and my dad came. My sister and her kids got RSV the week of, so like they couldn't come up. But then like none of my extended family came because it was in Vermont. I kind of did that on purpose, but also at the same time it was like
Strategic.
Yeah, nobody made an effort. So
Fuck. Family stuff is so hard.
it is, but it's like you get it.
Yeah, yeah. And you hope that people make an effort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you go on a honeymoon?
Not technically. Okay, so this is really funny. My dad got his passport, like, for the first time in his life a couple weeks before. So I'm like, we're going to take you to Canada.
Oh.
So we spent 4 days in Canada with my dad.
For your honeymoon.
So it
Oh
wasn't
my
really
God.
a honeymoon. And then we just recently went to Italy, but it was with Jess's best person. So it was the three of
So
us.
you yet to have a honeymoon.
We've not had a honeymoon.
Is there a dream? Are you cooking anything up?
I want to go to Thailand.
Thailand.
So bad.
Oh my gosh, that would be beautiful.
Right? Just
Does she like to travel?
when we went to, so she hates spending money. Just to be real. She hates spending money, but I planned the whole Italy trip without her knowing, and it was a surprise. So she found out the week before.
How was that news received?
A lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought she was going to freak out on me. But she was like, oh, okay, we're going to Italy. And I was like, you're not mad.
Best possible outcome.
Yeah. So it was great. And then when we went, she's like, all right, I get to pick next year's travel. And I was like, the bug bit you. So we're going to start traveling.
Heck yes.
Yeah. That's all I wanted. I was like, she just needs to go somewhere for that travel bug to bite her.
Good job.
Thank you. I was like, you just need to go somewhere to be like, yeah, I want to do this more.
To be inspired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did she travel a lot growing up? Where's she from?
Natick. So she's a born and raised Boston girly.
Very nice.
Yeah. But her mom's from Canada and her dad's family is originally from Egypt. So she's a family's transplanted here. So
Wow.
yeah. So I'm like, you should have the want to go
Yeah.
and travel.
Right. What are the best parts of your wife? What is your favorite thing about her?
There's so much. She just has so much feelings, but she just cares about everything and everyone, and I think it's just really sweet.
Are there any lesbian stereotypes that you identify with?
Chapstick.
Okay. I actually just recently learned what that meant.
Yeah, I feel like for me that kind of fits me the best at the moment. I feel like there's so many new ones.
For somebody that's never heard that term, could you explain a little bit what it means to be a chapstick lesbian?
Yeah, I feel like the easiest way to explain it is like you can do both. You can be a tomboy, you can be a femme, but you're kind of like in the middle. So you're like, this is the wrong word, but you're kind of plain. But
Okay.
like you're just like chill. You're not high femme, you're not high tomboy. You're kind of comfy.
You're like in the middle.
Yeah, you're in the middle. You're comfy. You can put on heels and wear a dress and daunt your red lipstick. You can also wear baggy clothes and a button up and look super dapper. So you're kind of just comfortable doing it all.
Yeah.
I feel like, but you kind of are just more comfortable just being comfy.
How do you feel about the U-Haul stereotype? And did you and Jess U-Haul?
We did not technically U-Haul. Well, depends on like what your what your timeline of U-Haul is. I think it's hilarious, and yes, I know so many people that have U-Hauled.
Yeah, what does that timeline look like?
3 months.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That to me, that's U-Hauling.
Yeah.
Anytime before 3 months, that's a U-Haul.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like,
So how long were you two together before you moved in?
I'm like, I have to count. Nine months.
Okay.
So not U-Hauling. I don't think it's
No,
U-Hauling.
that's
I mean,
definitely not.
it's not a year, but it was enough.
Yeah. And you knew. Like, you knew that that was your wife.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did at that point, yeah.
Yeah. How long after you moved in did you propose?
We moved in May together, and I proposed in August.
Oh, shit. Wow. And then it took a year to plan the big wedding.
The big wedding. But we eloped that October.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're coming up on our 2-year anniversary.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you love anniversaries? Are you an anniversary person? Do you guys have plans?
I guess I don't know. I've never been really an anniversary person, but then again, I hadn't been married, so I feel like it's a little different than like dating anniversaries.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things with themes and
Yeah.
brass or paper or
Yeah.
whatnot. We have some drama happening over here. I might give you Gigi. Do you want a Gigi?
I'll take a Gigi.
Because Tucker's going to start beating her up. Oh, I'm so sorry, Gigi. Go get Chelsea. Go get Chelsea. Oh,
Children.
the interpersonal workings of this very small living space can be complicated at times. Anyways, anniversaries.
Yeah, I think when we were in Italy, we had talked about like not doing gifts or anything for like birthdays or holidays or anniversaries and like putting that money aside for travel. So I don't know. We might do a dinner or something, but like nothing big.
Low key.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you like share hobbies in common with Jess? What do you do together? What is like your special time together as a couple, if anything?
Like hobbies. My wife is super athletic and plays all the sports.
Oh, she's a sports one.
And I'm a designated wag.
Yeah.
I just like watching her play sports. So
What is a WAG?
Wife and Girlfriends Club.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm on the sidelines being in the Wife and Girlfriends Club.
Perfect. Saying
Yes.
go sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go sports.
Yeah.
We are on, our friend group does a duck pin bowling league.
Oh.
In the winter and spring, but otherwise she has softball, spring, summer, fall, and then she does flag football.
She's busy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a lot. Sometimes two softball leagues at once. I don't know.
Where does she find the time or the energy?
I don't know.
You two are in the Boston area, correct?
Yes.
Have you been to the Lesbian bar that just opened up?
I was giving it time to settle.
Okay.
Before going.
Makes sense, yeah.
I'm like, they're going to be crazy busy for a while. So I was going to give them like a couple weeks before.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But we've been waiting.
And you've lived there for a couple of years now.
Yeah, going on 3.
And yeah, so is that like you found your community out there? It's a pretty big like queer scene.
Yeah, it is. I feel like it was very quick for me to feel like I found my community compared to like Providence. It was a lot easier to meet people, especially like in the workplace. I don't know if it's just like a STEM thing where there's just a lot of queers, but it was very easy to like meet people. And then my wife came with like a huge group of friends, and
That's so nice.
kind of like a chosen family that we've kind of got. And so there's just a bunch of people, and a lot of us live around each other in Somerville. So it's just, we've got like a little neighborhood group.
The dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually my next question. With your relationship with your family, like, did chosen family play a role at all for you in like your comfortability in coming out and sort of stepping into who you are?
Yeah, absolutely. I had some really good friends surrounding me when I was going through that, and they were a big push. Shout out Dana and Emily.
Was it harder to come out as poly or a lesbian?
I think I struggled a lot with poly because when I came out as lesbian, I was 22, but after that time, I explored more the poly world openly, especially when I moved to Providence. And I really kept that private, and I wasn't really vocal about it to like family or friends back home or anything like that. And so it felt like this piece of me that I was keeping secret until like COVID happened. So a good 4 or 5 years, I was like really not talking about it. And I just kind of felt ashamed because it's like I came out to the world as like a lesbian, and now I'm like, oh, I'm poly, I sleep with men. Or like I have male partners, and everyone's like, oh, what is it? You know? I felt that like a shame, I guess, of like
you didn't fit in any certain box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the confusion that comes with that.
Yeah. And that's where I feel like, you know, sexual identity is a spectrum, and like we shouldn't have to justify or, you know, give an explanation for how we feel or want to feel or who we sleep with or whatever. Like, who cares? Like,
Absolutely.
but like, if I want to talk about it, I shouldn't have to feel shame about it. And I did kind of come out with that around during COVID. But that was like a hard space for me because I was in a not healthy relationship with a woman that was monogamous but wasn't at the same time, and very manipulative, and so made me feel very shameful about like the fact that I had a poly relationship with a man before, and kind of shamed me for it. So it was like a lot going on in my head during that time.
Fuck.
Yeah.
What was your first like poly experience like? Like, how did you cross over that threshold?
House parties.
Oh my gosh. Okay. From your expression, I was not sure if that was an okay question or like off the table.
We might not. Yeah.
All right, you don't have to go into it.
I mean, I'm not ashamed by it. Yeah, no. And the funny thing is, most of that was like in Tennessee.
Shit, this is a safe space for queer conversations. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, no, I think I was very much exploring, like, that was still like my bi-curious phase, and yeah.
What was your first experience like with a woman?
Oh my God. Tattling on 18-year-old Chelsea.
Spill the tea, please.
This is so bad.
Why is it bad? What?
I wanted to be with a girl so bad, but was with a guy, and had been dating him a while, but
What's a while?
Like a year.
Okay.
And didn't want to cheat on him. So like I brought up like, let's have a threesome. So very easily found a girl, because duh. And
Is this in Tennessee?
yeah. And we like go out to dinner. I'm super flirty with her. She likes me. He's very upset with that fact. And so we get back and we're like, she's like making out with me, and he's just like,
He
no.
expected to be the star, not a supporting player.
I'm like, this is every man's dream. What is your problem? And yeah.
And did that relationship dissolve from there?
Oh, it should have. That's a whole nother topic. But
That's a whole other thing.
That's a whole other thing. So yeah, did end up cheating on him.
Fuck. Well,
with her.
So was that a thing going forward?
No, that was a one-time thing. But yeah, that was my first experience. Because I was like, well, you can't do that. Like, you can't say you want this and then say no. And now I kind of want to do it. So I'm going to do it. You don't control me.
You already put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's hot.
Cheers to that.
Yeah. I was 18 and young, dumb, and stupid.
As we were. As
we all were.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So you have had relationships with men and relationships with women. What were some of the biggest differences you found when you started like full-fledged dating women?
Yeah, communication. Full on. They communicate. They know how to talk about their feelings and can talk about their feelings, can read a room, can process, and don't hide their emotions. I think are like the biggest thing that made a difference for me.
Have you dated more butch women, feminine women? Do you have a type?
I've dated them all.
You've dated them all.
Yeah. I think I'm drawn, which is really funny, more to feminine women.
Interesting. Because your wife identifies as more butch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so. But there's just something about my wife.
Has she ever had a feminine phase? Like, does she sort
was
of...
forced into being, like, you know.
Okay. Yeah, so that pendulum has swung, like, way the other way now.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's like, I can control what I wear. Got it.
Yeah, doubling down. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes so much sense. You're more feminine presenting. Have you ever had, like, a really big tomboy phase? Have you ever had the urge to, like, buzz your head?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Have you?
Not full buzz, but I did cut it very, very short. When I came out, it went gone. I did the whole thing.
We're going to have to see a photo.
Oh, my God. There's not as much. It's when I first moved to Providence, too. So, yeah. There's not as much evidence because I was like, this is awful.
Damn it.
There's like one photo. Yeah. So growing up, I have 5 brothers and 1 sister. So I grew up very tomboy. My mom kind of like forced me to be girly, to, you know, wear makeup. And I did cheerleading, which I loved, and dance. And so, like, I was into the girly things, but, like, she wouldn't let me play softball. I guess I was too gay. And I didn't know it. We didn't know what, like, I knew what gay boys were because I cheered, but I didn't know what a gay woman was.
What year did you graduate high school?
2012.
Okay. And
Yeah.
was anybody out in your high school?
I was homeschooled.
Oh, fuck.
My whole
Okay.
life.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was that like?
What you think it would be like?
Interesting.
It was a lot. I'm glad to have my bachelor's.
So nobody was out in your school?
Nobody was out. You know what's funny is I go back on Facebook to be like, who's gay now?
Right? So many
Who's
people.
out?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fun game to play.
Oh, yeah. Most of us.
Yeah.
The ones, especially like friends or people I specifically grew up with in certain areas, I'm like, we're all queer. Literally
Everybody
all of us.
fled Tennessee.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
Most of us did. Especially the queer ones. Like, no one that's queer is there. Or if they are, they're, like, in the big cities. Because those are safer.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like a really hard place to grow up as a queer person in the South in general.
Yeah, I wouldn't know too much, like, because I didn't even know, like, when I was that young. But I can definitely see it because I even know my own internalized homophobia is of that age. So
Are there things looking back now that you're like, oh shit, wow, I was so gay?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, tell me some of them, please. So I have so many.
Well, the tomboy thing. Like, I was stealing my brother's clothes. Oh, my God. Wearing, like, the baggy shorts and, like, stealing their jerseys. Beating up the guys. Like, I was that girl.
Yeah. Did you, like, want to be one of the boys?
Yeah. I was that girl. I would have been, if I was in high school, I would have been, like, tagged as the lesbian.
Okay.
I was also the quiet girl. Everyone, like, no one on my cheer team really talked to me. I was also the homeschooler, but, like, I guess I was shy, but, like, people just thought I was weird.
Because of the homeschooling piece.
Probably. Yeah. But, like, I don't know. There was just a lot of aspects where I'm like, I probably was just gay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just didn't know it.
Did you have, like, what were your celebrity crushes?
Oh, my gosh. I remember pirating the L word when I was, like, 17.
Get out of town.
Do you remember, what was it, cokeandpopcorn.com? You could, like, pirate TV shows.
I am, like, the least tech-savvy person you've ever met in your life.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Someone remembers it. Or when Netflix and Hulu didn't have ads or, like, was free. Like in, I don't know, what was that, 2010? Yeah.
I watched the L Word for the first time in 2022. So I've been catching up for a little bit now.
Sweet thing.
I know.